23 and 14 in Game 4.
New York continues to foul much more often than the Celtics, but as we've already pointed out, in Game 3 and 4, the Celtics were not able to exploit this because they missed so often.
All right, the Celtics controlling the opening tap here at the Garden. They go immediately to Larry Bird, who's doubled up, looking for the free man. Instead, he goes baseline and does so easily what for normal people is such a difficult thing to do.
They immediately doubled up on him, and Larry, if you notice, kept looking over his shoulder, trying to identify where the free man was, but they collapsed in zone behind him very well. He wasn't able to find him, so he did it himself.
So Bird putting the Celtics on top 2-0, and Trent Tucker, for one of the few times that we've ever seen him do it, driving to the basket for 2. And we're tied at 2. We've played 45 seconds of game number 5. Here's a critical matchup, Parrish against Cartwright, and a foul is called on Rory Sparrow. Cartwright has been very aggressive in this series, especially after Game 1 when he was sort of invisible. But in Games 2, 3, and 4, he has just been a tiger for New York.
That's part of their strategy. They want to try to pick up some early fouls on Robin, and he will create a lot of contact. Bird catches one in the neck.
And makes a great pass to Dennis Johnson, who buries it, and it's 4-2 Boston. Celtics with Gerald Henderson pressuring Sparrow in the backcourt, and Cartwright forced to get the ball up court to Bernard King.
Very important to keep Bernard from getting the first couple down.
This match now as Cartwright is matched up with Bird. Cartwright walked. Yes, he did. Jack Madden caught Mr. Cartwright traveling through the lane, so it'll be Boston ball in the first New York turnover.
Both teams doubling up inside very quickly, so again, there's going to be pressure on the guards to hit those outside shots.
Henderson has Sparrow on him, nearly loses control. Celtics are leading 4-2 here in the early going. Henderson baseline his shot, doesn't get it. Weak side rebound to Cartwright. And here's King. 43 on Sunday. He threw him in from everywhere except Times Square. This kid can shoot outside. Tucker. 4-4 ball game. New York's been more effective with Tucker starting and Williams coming off the bench than they were the other way around.
Bird with a good position, just overpowers King. Fine pass by Dennis Johnson, leading him away from the defensive pressure. It's, you know, so difficult to do that well, and yet so necessary for a guard to be able to pick this up and make that good pass.
Cartwright and Parrish waging a war underneath, and a foul will be called on Gerald Henderson. That's the first Celtics team foul of the ball game, and the first foul on Henderson. Each team has one team foul. 9.5 minutes to play in the first quarter. Celtics lead 6-4.
It is. Henderson collapsing on Sparrow. They're going to give Sparrow the outside shot and double up on Cartwright inside.
All right, Sparrow throws the ball away. It'll be Boston ball as New York commits its second turnover. They were trying to go to Truck Robinson. Truck not involved offensively very much. Probably was more than a bit surprised.
New York only had 10 turnovers on Sunday, and this, I think, made as much of a difference as anything they did out there. Off a high of 27 here in the second game.
Bird, after being doubled, getting it off to Johnson, who threw up a bad shot. A rebound to Robinson. Here comes King. New York on the break. Nice pass, King. Tucker can't hang on to it.
Yeah, Dennis needed one more pass on that play. He drew the rotation defensively, and he had Henderson in the left lane.
They work it to Cartwright. He goes strong to the basket, and this is practically everything, but Truck Robinson, who's been tough on the board, knocks in the offensive rebound, and we're at 6-6 with 8:45 left, first quarter, game 5.
That's where Truck will do his damage. You've got to box him off the offensive board. He's an extremely effective rebounder.
Great job by Maxwell.
Good job keeping it alive. Yeah, Truck has not enjoyed a good series. He played very well on Sunday, I thought, the best of the 4 games. But he's been very tentative offensively. He continues to work on the board because this is where his strength is. But defensively, he hasn't been at his best. So if he starts to play up to his potential, it's going to make this club even tougher.
The foul was on Robinson, and the Celtics throw the ball away. That's their first turnover. New York has 2 team fouls, 8.5 minutes to play first quarter. 6-6, we're tied up.
When you've got movement on that half-court offense, you've got to have the ball over your head if you're a guard, so you're ready to respond to the cutter. Dennis had it down at his waist. By the time Bird made his cut and he raised the ball, he was a half a second behind the play. Got to keep the ball up.
Celtics quickly doubling up on King, and a foul will be called. And it's going to be on Maxwell. Cedric's first, and the Celtics second as a team. As you look at the double team on King.
There it is. They don't want to get him started. Don't reach for the ball. Boy, that's a bad call.
Yes, sir.
Wow. King leaned in and caught Max in the jaw, it looked like.
Tucker, all the way in, loses the ball. Henderson comes up with it. Celtics are 3-on-3 right now. Bird was fouled by Truck Robinson as he got the pass off. That is 3 team fouls in New York. We played 4 minutes here in the first quarter. Louis Orr is coming in for the Knicks. As you look at Robinson, upset at the call.
Take a look. A late whistle here cost him 2 because he didn't blow the whistle till after Larry had passed. If he had heard the whistle now, he'd have released that ball, but he didn't get the whistle, and he caught Max with a good position and decided to pass. Cost him 2 points.
All right, Louis Orr is into the ball game for New York, and Robinson is out. They've put Orr on Bird. Johnson in the paint. No. Offensive rebound, Johnson. He'll try again. No basket. He traveled with it.
Dennis is forcing. He's got a lot of free men there. He's drawing the defensive coverage. A couple of men. He's got to look up and find that free man.
Traveling New York. Both teams, Coos, obviously are a little tentative and tight.
I think that's the kind of game you're going to see, as we said on top. I think the pressure is going to be felt by all of the players, and the faint hearts are going to fall by the wayside. It's going to be a lower scoring game, and the defense is going to be dominated by the defense, Gil.
And New York is called for an illegal defense. That is their warning. It's the first illegal defense call of the game. The Celtics have been, there's Hubie Brown saying why.
It always gets the coach's attention, you see, because they take it as a personal affront. But it's their strategy, see, that's being negated by the call, and it always upsets them.
A lot of people have asked just what is an illegal defense. Bird.
Wow, difficult shot.
Illegal defense, to put it as simply as you can, is that someone is playing zone rather than playing the ball.
Yeah, you've got to be guarding the ball. If you're off the ball and you're in the paint, in the painted area, instead of guarding your man, that's generally when it's called. Here's a break.
3-on-2. Johnson loses the handle, however. New York will come back the other way. And a loose ball foul is called prior to the ball coming back in the other direction. The foul was on Dennis Johnson. There's timeout on the floor. 6:56 to play. First quarter. Celtics are on top by a pair. Celtics are 4 for 8 from the floor, 3 rebounds. New York 3 for 5, 3 rebounds. Boston 3 turnovers, in New York 4. Bird 3 for 3 for his 6 points. 6 of the Celtics 8. They lead it 8-6. Tucker for New York, and now Louis Orr has it blocked by Bird, but Bird will be called for a foul, and that'll be the Celtics' 4th team foul, and it'll send Louis Orr to the foul line for New York.
I'll tell you, old Louis not going to overpower anyone under there, but he's got a lot of good moves offensively, and he laid a few on Bird that time, and it got him a step. Well, not a shooting foul, evidently.
He obviously didn't think he was in the act of shooting.
Wow.
It's a stunner for Hubie Brown and especially Louis Orr.
I don't know what else he was doing, 12 feet from the basket, and
great pass by Bird.
Himself.
Rebound by Parrish off his own missed shot. Whistle, foul, New York. Heck of a pass by Bird to get it into Parrish, but Robert couldn't quite handle it inside. However, the Celtics going very aggressively at the offensive boards here in the early going.
Casey said, we were talking with Kevin McHale beforehand, too. He said they were kind of fed up with being pushed around. Evidently, they felt they were overpowered in New York, and they were going to come out much more aggressively, and that's laudable. I think their intensity level had to be raised over what they did in New York, but you know, you come out in that kind of frame of mind, you've got to be careful not to pick up early fouls and get some key guys in foul difficulty.
10-6 Celtics, 6:20 to go, first quarter. Sparrow, Tucker, Cartwright, Orr, and Bernard King are on the floor right now. The alley-oop it to Bernard, who dumps it off, and Tucker, Louis Orr hits a pair for the Knicks.
Good job by Bernard. He's picking up that trap, and he knows it, and he's looking for the free man just as Bird does so effectively.
Celtics leading 10-8. Low-scoring first quarter. Bird to the basket. 4 for 4 for Larry Bird.
Wow, he uses his body so effectively. had the inside deny there, just spun to the outside along the baseline, and then just moved back into the man. That's what you do with your body once you establish that position is so important.
King gets open, misses.
Well,
that's his first shot. Dennis Johnson loses the ball.
Oh, Dennis is really asleep.
Having a rough time.
Wow.
And Sparrow is fouled by Henderson. No basket. That'll put the Celtics over the limit, and it'll put Sparrow at the foul line for the Knicks. There's the second foul on that man right there, Gerald Henderson. Peek at it again. The Celtics were on their way back when they turned the ball over.
Well, Sparrow looking to take it in. Denied by Gerald, but he picks up the contact.
There's Sparrow's numbers here for the playoffs. He's 11 of 11 at the foul line and was perfect in this series until that miss. Took care of him.
Well, I'll tell you, Bernard King, you know, they gave him 25 shots on Sunday. He made, what, 17 of them. Yeah. That was his high, I think, for the series so far. Number of shots taken. This, obviously. They've got Bird in the middle on the trap, by the way. First time we've seen the trap. And, well...
hit it with a stick. Ball is off New York.
3 white jerseys were in there trying to surround that ball. And all the blue jerseys were out at half court busy trapping, and we still couldn't get a handle on it.
There's a 22nd timeout taken. Johnson appears to have injured his shoulder. And Ray Melchior is taking a look at that. As you look at the Celtics bench, Casey Jones, Jimmy Rogers, Chris Ford, and the Celtics ball club gathering around KC here. 5:17 left in the first quarter. The Celtics are leading 12-9. And as Kuz had predicted on top, a sloppy game so far.
So far.
Very tentative and not letting it flow, just being super careful, and that, I think, is causing more mistakes.
They're starting to think about it. I think Dennis got hurt on that last offensive foul where he lost the ball. It wasn't a foul, excuse me. Well, no, evidently not. This is where he caught it, yeah?
Oh, he caught it, and he sort of got his arm tangled up with Sparrows.
Anyway, he's shaking it off. Yeah, you know, when it gets down to 2 out of 3, everyone starts to think about it a little bit more, and generally it'll make you more cautious and tentative offensively. There's the trap.
Great swing of the ball. Great swing of the ball by the Celtics. Larry is 5 for 5.
Well, as usual, old Larry's come to play. They got a break with King missing that first easy one. There's the trap. See, they're popping him out further from the basket. This is what was effective in New York.
Maxwell.
On Sunday, they were getting the ball to him more easily.
Bird tries to jump past the Parrish. Somehow he got the ball in there. The Celtics swing it back around. Henderson, no basket. Foul on Rory Sparrow. Gerald Henderson to the foul line. The Knicks have now gone over the limit here in the first quarter.
Good swing of the ball. Good defensive rotation by the Knicks, who have been doing it well all series. But now the Celtics taking more time to search out that free man, making that one additional pass that they messed up on a couple of times. Here's Ray Williams, who has played very well since he missed the second game of the series.
Williams is averaging 15.5 points a game, and the Celtics missed their first free throw. Now, they missed 15 Friday night and 14 on Sunday. Cannot afford to miss their foul shots. They're shooting at only 71% in this series, well below. Oh, I'm sorry, Parrish had 2 earlier. I'm sorry. But well below their regular season average, which is about 78. Williams, as Kuz mentioned, has had a great series. King on the turnaround, his first basket coming with 4:25 left. In the first quarter, the Celtics leading 15-11. Their biggest lead a moment ago was 6. Henderson, now Bird, 4 on Bird. Johnson up over and in as he went over Trent Tucker.
I'll tell you, old Dennis has taken a beating so far tonight. He's still kind of holding that shoulder in a slack position as if it continues to bother him, although he knocked that one home pretty well.
Darrell Walker taking off his warm-up suit for New York. Foul on Boston on Cedric Maxwell.
So these are the 2 things they did on Sunday with King to free him up. We've been trying to deny him inside to force him out deeper. Well, the Knicks accommodated. They sent him out to the ball, isolated him quickly on that side, and he brought it right back in before the trap hit. And the other thing, which they just tried to do there, they put him in motion. They moved him. Instead of putting him stationarily inside, they moved him to the ball from the weak side using the pick. That time Max tried to beat him over the Cartwright pick, and Max got called for the foul. So they've got him in motion, and they're popping him out deep.
Maxwell has sat down, and Kevin McHale checks in for the Celtics. King's free throw makes it 17-12. 3:54 left, first quarter. And Bernard is 1 for 2, and it's going to stay here. Jack Madden has called a lane violation against the Celtics, so King will get one more opportunity.
I'll tell you, that's searching for a call.
Boy, isn't it ever?
There's enough calls out there to make without looking for that one. It's not called all year long. Kind of a bad time to start blowing it. Here's the trap. They're picking up at closer to half court rather than three-quarter.
Darrell Walker in for New York. He's replaced Trent Tucker at guard. Bird has Orr on him. They double up. Henderson is open. Foul line jumper. And it's a 19-13 ball game. 3.5 minutes left, first quarter.
Gerald came to the open spot, a little 15-footer. He squared himself off to the basket that time. Took a little more time to take it. Made sure he didn't miss it, because he's going to have a number of those opportunities. His man is the one who's doubling up on Bird.
Walker and now Bernard King as they bring him back outside. Cartwright powering in for 2. And again, it's a Celtics 4-point lead.
Cartwright's first hoop picked up Bird on the mismatch and used his body effectively.
Parrish from outside, 18-foot rainbow. Bird, the offensive board, will not go, but he was fouled.
I'll tell you, his first miss, it almost was a spectacular 6th hoop, wasn't it?
It certainly was. Degree of difficulty would have been about a 9.5.
See, they should have had the foul call. There's the Parrish jumper. He's naked on it. Watch, see, he's moving. See, King moving. That should have been the foul there, not on the shot. However, well, in either case, it would have been a 2-shot foul. They're over the limit. 3
minutes to play in the first quarter. Bird with 2 shots for the Celtics. And Quinn Buckner, you see him there in your pictures, just checked into the ball game. Dennis Johnson has gone out. Ray Melchiori working on Johnson's right shoulder. One more free throw for Larry Bird as you look at his impressive numbers. And the Celtics lead again by 6. This is their biggest lead, 21-15.
Bird shooting well tonight, by the way, Joe. Not that he ever does not shoot well, but I mean, in terms of his release, some nights it flows a little more fluidly, if that's possible, out of his hands, as opposed to getting a little jerky occasionally. Anyway, it looks good tonight.
Timeout is taken by the Knickerbockers. 2 minutes and 54 seconds left. First quarter, Celtics are up by 6. New York 6 out of 10. Turnovers 5 for the Knicks, 4 for the Celtics. Rebounds, Boston 7-3. Larry Bird has 12 points, lead all scorers. Gil Santos and Bob Cousy with crack statistician Ray Perry here at the Garden, where the Celtics are leading by 6, and Ray Williams shoots 2 free ones, and he rolls the first one off.
Well, maybe that free throw shooting jinx is starting to affect the boys in blue as well as the good guys in white. 1
out of 2 for Ray Williams. New York now picks up the press at three-quarter court, but they find McHale, the open man. Basket counts, and he's fouled by Marvin Webster, who just checked into the game. That was a great job of finding the open guy.
Good job. When Webster comes in, they're probably going to stay in that trap pressure. They'll alternate. At that time, they've been picking up at half court. They've generally like to go three-quarter to hit you with it, but they feel it's more effective at half against the Celts. And as I say, they felt Sunday that it helped to slow down the break. McHale hits the first one.
Celtics now have their biggest lead, 8 points, 24-18. Boston by 8. Here comes Darrell Walker all the way now to King, and it's blocked by Robert Parrish. Walker gets it back. He's a tough little customer, that Walker. Could be a jump ball. It is. This Walker, for a guard at 6'4", really, can get up in the air. He gets excellent position. He's just a feisty little guy.
Little trouble inside on the line. Louis Orr and Kevin and Bird trying to establish their turf there. It's really whoever gets there first. There's Danny Ainge in the game.
Henderson goes out. Webster and Parrish jumping. One by Parrish. However, it'll be New York ball, as Jack Madden says Parrish beat the ball up.
Got to reach its highest point before it can be tapped.
On the floor for New York, Walker, Williams, Webster, Orr, and King. For the Celtics, Ainge, Buckner, Parrish, McHale, and Bird.
Williams a good penetrator and a good shooter. Streaky, however. He'll
Nice.
Parrish.
Nice. Beautiful pass by Quinn Buckner, leading Robert Parrish right on the button.
So important to look up. If you're the outlet man, look down floor immediately before you put the ball on the floor. Buckner looked first, and he caught Parrish.
Celtics now with a 10-point lead on that dandy pass from Quinn Buckner to Robert Parrish ahead of the pack. The Celtics, Coos, despite the fact that New York is slowing the game down, the Celtics have been able to push the ball up the floor. Here's the last play.
See, this is what I mean. You notice now he put the ball on the floor, but his head was up, looking down floor simultaneously, as opposed to putting the ball on the ground and having your head into the ground watching the ball. This enables them to catch Parrish with a step on the field, make the nice lead long pass down floor. Good job. This is what we were saying earlier. All the talk about you know, the half-court New York trap, slowing down the break, and the whole. It's a question of the players. You know, it's not easy to run down that floor 94 feet every time, especially for your big men. Once your big men start to slow up a little bit, then it affects the break in every way.
For the ball, and it's tied up for a jump.
Celtic defense continuing to cause New York problems, even though they're getting, that time they got a few high percentage shots.
And we're going to get a loose ball foul called on the Celtics.
Wow.
And it's on Bird. That's his second personal. So that'll put Louis Orr on the foul line for the Knicks.
Well, Jack Madden is establishing his presence out there.
Celtics have taken a timeout here, and the Garden crowd lets Madden know what they think of the last call. In any event, we're down to 1 minute and 55 seconds to play in the first quarter. The Celtics with a 10-point lead, and this is their biggest lead of the ball game. The Celtics, so far, have been able to get their own running game in gear, despite the fact that New York appears to be wanting to shorten the game up by taking as much time as they can when they come down.
They've done a good job on the defensive board. They haven't given the Knicks too many second opportunities. They've gotten the outlet pass out quickly. And as you just saw with Quinn Buckner, the outlet man has looked down floor quickly, and they've released those big men. The big men are running. So the combination of all those factors, even when New York makes the good transition, they're still going to catch them occasionally on fast break baskets. Now, you don't generally want to lean towards that long breakaway pass. If you're really trying to establish a continuity on your fast break, the outlet man or the point man has to bring it to full 90 feet or, well, depending on how far he's got to go, usually about 60 feet from the place he receives it to the top of the key and the penetrate. The point is, it's much safer doing it that way than looking for the long pass. That's the kind of lazy way, unless the man has to step on the field, which is what we saw with Parrish. He had a step. He's a big target, and he had plenty of floor to lead him with, so that was the play to make on that occasion. But generally, as I say, now that the Celtics are trying to reestablish the fast break continuity, the point man should take it in, shorter pass, much higher degree of success on that play rather than a long pass.
I want to remind you also that Friday night, we will have Game 6 of this series for you here on TV4 from Madison Square Garden in New York, and that'll be an 8 o'clock tap as well. Friday night, we'll have Game 6. Louis Orr at the line, averaging 6 points a game in this playoff series. Good foul shooter. You see by his numbers right there. Former Syracuse star, and he misses the front end.
You know, we talked in New York when the Celtics started missing about how contagious that becomes. Now we see it happening to the Knicks here. But I think it's part of the...
Hold it. That's illegal. Take that foul shot away. You got it.
Wow.
You cannot, once you make the movement. And what's Madden doing? Is he going to give him another shot?
Well, I thought that was established last year. Casey Jones is up saying you can't draw the men into the Well, he missed it anyway.
Missed it
so
anyway.
It's academic, but I thought you can't draw the men into the paint.
Buckner, nice job of pushing it up. Ames banks it in. There's a classic example of the Celtics pushing that ball up the floor as quickly as they could.
Boy, that's a nice pump fake, and then a step under by Ames.
Steal by Buckner, but it's out of bounds.
I'll tell you, I think he's the most effective guard in the league in searching out that ball. He plays the passing lanes extremely well. He's active with the hands. He's kind of very low to the ground when he's attacking the ball. They've got him trying to deny Williams because they want Walker to set up the play.
Here is Walker from the foul line. First New York basket in about 3 minutes. That's the Celtic lead back to 10. It had reached a high point of 12 at the 28-16. Down to 1:15 to go here in the first quarter. They get McHale in low, and he rolls it in.
Good job. 2 quick pump fakes was enough to create an opening for him. Webster's a pretty good defensive player, so you've got to be careful. You don't want to shoot quickly on him.
Celtics have established a strong game early here, leading by 12. Bernard King missing the shot. Webster, the rebound, took a few steps with it. Gets it back out to Ray Williams. 45 seconds to go in the first quarter.
Good quarter basketball for the Celtics. Buckner still searching that ball out.
Williams having a rough time so far. Comes back again. Loose ball, and everyone's after it. Williams comes out of there with it, and then takes a terrible shot. Celtics are 4-on-1. Here comes Buckner. No, McHale, yes.
Now, talk about, a demonstration of fast breaking. You had 4 white shirts. Even though you had a 3-on-1 breakaway, McHale still pursued the play, and the trailer eventually got it off the missed layup. So they want to run tonight, and they're doing it effectively.
Celtics out to a quick lead. 7 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Orr's shot is good, and that will end the first quarter. The Celtics have a 12-point lead after 1 quarter at the Boston Garden in Game 5. It is the Celtics leading it by a score of 32-20. On the floor, 13 of 20, 65%, 11 rebounds, 4 turnovers. New York, 8 for 19, 42%, 5 turnovers, 8 rebounds. Larry Bird, game-high scorer with 12. Here's the last fast break.
Yeah, see, here's what we were talking about. You've got a 3-on-1 situation. A lot of times when the big men behind see that happening, they'll lag back because this is, an opportunity to take it easy. You know you're going to get the layup. McHale denied that option and pursued the play all the way in and ended up, of course, with the trailer basket on the play. Celtics picking up full court. Good quarter of basketball for the Celtics. They increased their level of intensity, obviously, and it's affecting every part of their game.
New York starting the second quarter with Walker, Williams, Cartwright, Orr, and Truck Robinson. King is out. Here's Walker and now Cartwright. The Celtics starting with Ames, Buckner, McHale, Maxwell, and Bird. The steal by Ames. Floating in for a pair.
Ames doing a good job. Buckner, I'll tell you, has been denying Williams very effectively, and this has had an impact on the New York offense. I'm sure that's what you'll be as upset about, because it's causing the off guard to set up the play, and that's how they end up with Cartwright with the ball without knowing what to do with it in the Ainge steal.
So with 11.5 minutes to play in the second quarter, the Knicks call a timeout. There's the Ainge steal to put the Celtics up by 14. Play back in. Louis Orr missing a jump shot. Larry Bird getting the rebound. Celtics with matching their biggest lead, 14 points right now, as they have been very much in the flow of everything they've wanted to do tonight. Fast break, defense, rebounding. They've done the whole package. Bird has Orr on him. Double team to McHale, who is fouled from behind by Bill Cartwright. No basket.
Well, they don't seem to be wasting much time fouling Kevin, so maybe that is their strategy. There's the trap on
As soon
Bird.
as he gets it, they drill him.
Not easy to find a free man when they've got you trapped in a corner that way, but not easy for the average player. For Bird, it isn't much of a problem.
Bird missing the jump shot. Here comes Ray Williams, who has not hit a shot tonight. Ball is stolen by Bird, but we're going to get a foul on the Celtics. And now Ray Williams and Quinn Buckner are going at it. And if I were Ray, I would not mess with Quinn.
No, I wouldn't either.
Very strong, tough man.
Buckner's been doing a fine job denying him the ball, and I'm sure that's leading to some frustration. And Jack Madden trying to be the peacemaker.
Yes, Hugh Evans,
Buckner evidently wants an explanation or wants to explain.
Williams is sure a bit frustrated. He's 0 for 5 from the floor. And Quincy has just played him magnificently on the defensive end. The foul was on Buckner, his second personal, first on the Celtics. We'll take a peek here and see if we can find exactly what brought about the confrontation.
Well,
yeah, maybe
he
that was
slaps it away from him, but that's
nothing wrong with that.
No reason to get upset.
Bird out for the Celtics, and he's replaced by Robert Parrish, so that puts McHale back at a forward. Williams and now Walker in the middle on the drive. Robert the rebound. Lead pass to Quinn Buckner. Kicks it off to McHale. Beautiful job.
Oh, Buckner's having himself again.
Maxwell steal. Here come the Celtics 3-on-1. Good night. 18-point Celtics lead. Knicks want a timeout. The place is rocking. Bird is out there giving high fives to everybody. Take a peek at this. The steal by Maxwell. Keys the basket, and the Celtics are on top 38-20. Play back in. Bernard King from outside buries one to break the Celtics' 6-point run. That's the first New York basket of the second quarter. They went 3 minutes before they were able to score.
I'll tell you what, the Buckner deny now on Sparrow, who has replaced Williams, has really disrupted the Knickerbocker half-court set.
McHale is 6 for 6.
Well, if the strategy is to foul him quickly, I'll tell you, they're just not getting there quickly enough because Kevin's got himself three quick hoops here in the second quarter.
Cartwright, they double him up, and he goes to the basket for 2. New York gets it back down to 16 points at 40-24. Celtics have Buckner, Ainge, Parrish, McHale, and Maxwell out there. Parrish on the turnaround rainbow. New York has Sparrow, along with Tucker, Cartwright, Robinson, and Bernard King.
Old Robert has found much more daylight going along that baseline for the jumper. He'd like to take it in the middle, but he picks up the trap each time. Sparrow gets in.
Steal by Maxwell.
He got in so naked that he was so surprised when he got in there, he missed the layup. Max trying to take it in himself, picks up a little contact and goes to the floor.
Foul is on Bernard King, his second, and New York's second team foul. The Celtics have one team foul here in the second quarter. Just under 9 minutes to play in the quarter. It's 42-24. Boston's on top.
They said he wanted them to go out aggressively, and boy, they've certainly done that on defense, and it's made all the difference in the world.
Ainge is called for a double dribble.
Danny was saying they knocked it out of his hand, but I don't think it hit the floor.
I didn't see it.
I think he just got confused on the play.
Tucker to inbounds for the Knicks. This is Sparrow, who has played a fine series for New York.
Good penetrating guard. Doesn't have the outside shot to keep the defense honest, and that hurts his passing ability a bit.
King on the miss. Parrish yanks it away. New York getting no second. Maxwell cross court now with Ainge. Buckner on top. 20-footer. Yes.
Everything's going down tonight. The guards are hitting those open shots. And they're moving the ball well and finding those free men. New York continues to trap. The Celtics are searching out the free men, finding them, and they're making the shot.
Celtics' first 20-point lead of the night, 44-24. And traveling is called on Truck Robinson. The Celtics are shooting a smoking 71%, 19 of 27 so far in the ball game.
Up to now, they're destroying the Celtics, the Knickerbocker defense that was so effective in the 2 games in New York. Truck Robinson continues to have problems outside. The Celtics defense is running away from him, and it's really, I think, upsetting. Buckner.
Well, he had his pins knocked out right from underneath him. Sparrow is arguing the call, and Buckner, as he got the shot away, was torpedoed from underneath. Ray Williams will come in. That's the third foul on Sparrow.
Take a look again. They go to the weak side, rotate the ball, find Buckner by himself. Sparrow trying to get back in position, just takes him out of the play.
So Buckner will shoot a pair of free throws for the Celtics. 7 minutes, 39 seconds left, second quarter. Celtics have a 20-point lead. It is 44-24. The Knicks have scored only 4 points in this quarter in 4.5 minutes of play.
Defense has been intense, and they've helped each other out. They've really given the Knicks very little. They've had to earn whatever they've gotten. Buck brings it in that time.
Now that time Robinson, who's been left pretty much alone in the series, is able to find his way to the hoop pretty easily. And it's 45-26. Celtics lead is 19 points. Henderson is at the scorer's table, set to come in. McHale squeezes one off. It won't go, but he was fouled.
Well, Kevin's taking advantage of the strategy. You know, he told us before that he thought they were going to foul him intensely, or had been. There's the good pump fake. Gets Robinson up in the air and then steps in and absorbs the contact.
Quinn Buckner has just gone out, and he got a big hand from the crowd.
I'd say he deserves it. You can't imagine how difficult it is to try to deny a quick point guard the way he did to both Williams and Sparrow for the amount of time he was in the game. Very, very difficult job to try to keep the ball away from a man that quick.
One more free throw for McHale as he missed the front end of the 2 shots. Kevin right now, the Celtics top scorer with 13 points. Bird is right behind him with 12. And Kevin misses both free throws, so the Celtics continue to have their problems at the foul line. Now Henderson in replacing Buckner, so that puts Henderson on Ray Williams. Ray Williams goes right by him, and McHale rips the ball out of his hands. Celtics a 3-on-3. Maxwell, 2.
Beautiful. Not easy to go in with that kind of speed and momentum and take it off the wrong foot and then soften up the shot. Max does it very well.
They trap on Williams, but he gets it up to Bernard King. So far, the Celtics have done an excellent job, Coos, of denying King the ball. Another steal.
Oh, boy.
Henderson hitting Ames. 18-footer goes. Woo. 23 points, Celtics lead. 6:20 to go in the half.
Williams is suspect in terms of his ball handling, so if you're alert, and certainly Joe Henderson is that, you're going to come up with a few steals off his dribble.
The Knicks have taken another timeout, and comes here with 6:17 to play in the first quarter, and the Celtics are just smoking 49-26. Their biggest lead of the ball game in this quarter. They have outscored the Knickerbockers 17-6. And looking back toward the tail end of the first quarter, the last time the game was within 4 points was at 19-15. So since then, the Celtics have outscored the Knickerbockers, and that would be in the last 9 minutes of play. The Celtics have outscored New York 20 to 11 to build up this lead. Or 30 to 11. I'm sorry, 30 to 11. Here's that last steal by Henderson.
Joel is a lot like Buckner. Doesn't have his strength from the waist up, but has every bit as much quickness. And if you expose the ball to him at all, why, he's going to get a hand on it. There it is. Williams with the high dribble. That's all Henderson needs. He had his head right in there looking for an opportunity anyway, so good pass. Ainge has a little trouble finding the handle, but then squares himself off. Nothing but net. I'll tell you, this is the one thing I'm sure, of course, there's a long way to go.
Oh, yes.
But it's the one thing that Hubie Brown did not want, you know, psychologically. He's got the boys believing after those 2 fine efforts in New York.
Yeah, and credit New York.
He certainly doesn't want a blowout. He wanted a close game here, and he may still get it, but at least, I'll tell you, this is a pretty effective half of basketball for the Celtics so far.
After this ball game tonight, we're going to have a special WBZ TV Sports Special, the Auerbach Era, with host Bob Newmeyer. And if you haven't caught glimpses of it, we've had it as part of a series. If you haven't, watch it tonight right after the ball game. Bob Newmeyer just does a great job with Red Auerbach and looking over his many years with the Celtics. It's just a fine show. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Trent Tucker outside, rattles one home. Celtics in this quarter are 8 of 9 from the floor. They're 21 of 29 for the game. New York, to this point, has committed 11 turnovers. Sunday, in the entire game, as Kuz mentioned earlier, they committed only 10. Right now it's a 21-point Boston lead, 49-28. Parrish on the turnaround, no, and the rebound is picked off by Rory Sparrow. Parrish hit the floor, so New York's 5 on 4 right now, and Walker, who's a pretty good-looking young ball player, whacks one home. He's a lot of raw talent, too, Walker.
He's a good penetrator, but I'll tell you, I'm impressed with his defense. You notice how low to the ground he is. He's got the long arms, the good quickness, good concentration. He's ideal for what Hubie wants. Maxwell with the good penetration.
Yes, sir. Found a little pass to the hoop, so he pity-pattered on in, 51-30.
You don't want to give Max too much pressure outside. As we know, he's reluctant to shoot that shot, and if he does put it to the floor well, and you give him that pressure, well, he's usually going to find an opening. There's the tap.
Foul before the shot. It's going to be on Cedric Maxwell, and on Cedric, that is 3 personal fouls. So Larry Bird will come in for Cedric, who... Watch this confrontation. Maxwell and Bernard King. Max gets a standing O. He's played a superb defensive game.
There's the deny with a little bit of an assist with the hole on the play. Cartwright.
King so far in the game has scored just 6 points for New York. Henderson all the way, dishing off nicely to Parrish, gets his own bound and puts it home.
That's a fine job by Henderson. Again, when those guards penetrate effectively and under control, notice he steps by his man, draws Cartwright. You know you're going to get the big guy to come, then you've got to find a way to get it to your big man.
Got a foul called loose ball on the Celtics on the other end on Robert Parrish. That is his first personal foul. Celtics third as a team. New York has 4 as a team here in the second quarter. 4:27 left. Celtics leading by 21 points. Their biggest lead has been 23. Walker, I don't think he had any idea where he was going that time. Al Bernard, sweet move, but he was fouled by Kevin McHale, who got him on the wrist.
Boy, that's a nice move. You see, with McHale on him, he doesn't want to take the jumper because Kevin's advantage in height makes it difficult. How's that for a 360 move between McHale and Ainge? I'll tell you what, King, you know, a lot of support for him in New York, obviously, for MVP. We wouldn't find too much of it in Boston, but you can see where he should be talked about, you know, in that category.
Danny Ainge has just gone out. Dennis Johnson coming in. Ainge a fine contribution here in the first half. He had 6 points, 1 big steal. Bernard missing the front end of the 2 shots. He'll get 1 more. There's Danny. 4:16 left, first half. Long way to go yet, but the Celtics off to a very good start, leading it by 20. Henderson for Boston. Gerald playing very much under control tonight. Bird back into the game.
His first hoop this quarter, he had 12 in the first. I think he was 5 for 5 or 6 for 6 before he finally missed on the shot he was fouled on.
Darrell Walker does a good job.
You can't give up on Walker when you're guarding him. You know, he gives you the hesitation dribble, but you've got to stay with him because he's always looking to get the last foot of floor and bring it in there.
McHale's jump hook over Truck Robinson. Boston by 22 points, 57-35, 3.5 minutes left first half. Bernard cross-court pass to Tucker, who fires it up, rattles it home. They got a pair of good young guards, and Tucker, a second-year player, and Walker, a rookie. McHale, by the way, is 7 for 7 in this ball game. Dennis Johnson with a left hand, no. Parrish up and no. No traveling is called on Robert Parrish. That'll be New York taking the ball inbounds with 3:08 to play, first half. Celtics led at the end of the quarter, 32-20. Then a quick 6-0 burst in the first minute and a half of this quarter. There's Hubie looking on. Put the Celtics in an 18-point lead, and they've been pretty much around that ever since.
New York's a tough team to come back against. Oh, good job by King that time. As the Celtics found out in New York over the weekend, they also have a hard time making up big deficits.
Foul, New York. That'll put them over the limit. Foul is called on Bill Cartwright, and that's his second. And New York is over the limit, so Robert Parrish is at the line for a couple of shots.
Yeah, they're clearing out the side of the floor Robert is on. You notice the trap is a little late getting in there. Robert continues to spin to the outside, which takes the collapsing guard a little longer to get to him, and usually will deny them the trap, give him a chance to get it off.
Celtics pressing all over the floor now, playing a tough man-to-man. They get it up to Robinson. And now Walker, who has had a good second quarter for the Knicks, penetrating well. That time he lost the ball. Bird and now McHale up floor for the Celtics, leading by 20. Nice work by Dennis Johnson, getting it to Henderson, who missed the shot. It's going to be Boston ball as Robinson slapped it up behind the backboard and off a support.
Good job by Gell trying to establish that shot. Or create it, rather. He was kind of being suffocated by the big men. Didn't quite know how to get it off. KC and Jimmy Rogers looking pensive.
Larry Bird to put it in play for the Celtics. Down to 2.5 minutes left first half. Celtics on top by 20. Henderson now Bird. Larry has 14. They double on him. Finds the open man Henderson, who kicks it back out. Larry again to Henderson. Open 18-footer. Buries it.
Well, they were determined to find Gerald. They know his man is trapping everywhere, so he's got to find the open area. He's got to move away from his man when he's looking to trap the ball. And then, of course, as I said, they got to find Gerald.
Wild shot taken by King is missed. Cartwright misses a layup, and New York is still missing shots left and right. Parrish, I think, thought the ball went through, so he walked off the floor to take the inbound pass, while New York still had people up there rebounding and shooting.
Don't want to give up on it too easily, I'll tell you, in this type of game especially.
Walker almost stole it from Bird. Larry finds Henderson. No. Rebound Cartwright. Trent Tucker back for the Knicks. He gets a pair back, and it's down to an 18-point lead. Celtics' biggest lead of the half has been 23. New York has staged a mild comeback here in the last couple of minutes.
New York getting good production from Tucker and Walker.
Very good production from those two guards. Parrish is doubled on, takes it in, rims it out. McHale, and a foul will be called, loose ball on Darrell Walker, putting Kevin McHale at the foul line. Quinn Buckner back in for the Celtics, replacing Henderson. Buckner, in the time he played earlier in this half, was just all over the place, in case you just dialed across. Kevin McHale, that's his numbers for tonight, 15 points, now 16. Celtics lead with 1:02 to go in the half is 62 to 43. Up 20 again. Biggest Boston lead was 23 points, 49 to 26. Tucker with Dennis Johnson on him. Looking to post Robinson. He gets inside. Basket goes. He's fouled by Bird. It's going to be number 3 on Larry Bird.
Good move by the Tucker that time.
No, they call the foul on Johnson, not on Bird.
Johnson moves in for the trap.
Yeah.
Bird blocks the middle. Tuck just pivots around and creates the shot on the outside.
Robinson missing the free throw, so the Celtics lead remains at 18 points with 43 seconds left in the half. Buckner, and now Johnson. Celtics trying to set up the shot here. Johnson looking inside. Bird has it blocked by King.
Oh, wow.
Who also decked him.
Can't believe it. Man, talk about not staying with a play. Watch the end of this. See, Madden turns his head and doesn't catch the contact. He's looking to see when the ball's going out of bounds and misses. Look at King just wipe Bird out. He doesn't get a call on it.
Darrell Walker commits the foul on Dennis Johnson, and that is the second on Walker, and DJ will be at the line. Johnson in this series averaging just under 15 points a game to go with 5 assists per game. Right now he has 4 points, and the shooting his free throws at 81%, second on the team.
Celtics displaying much more patience offensively. I thought in the New York games too often they were settling for the jump shot too quickly, you know, as opposed to looking to bring it in, looking to go inside, which they've done well all season long. And against the New York trapping pressure, it becomes even more important, you know, not to look for the quick jumper.
23 seconds left, and it's a traveling violation on Darrell Walker. It'll be Boston ball, another New York turnover. They now have 13 turnovers in the first half. Bird positioned himself beautifully on this. Watch. There's Bird setting up shop right there.
Take a peek. That's where one case where excessive speed, you know, can hurt you. Walker with just great breakaway speed wasn't able to put on the brakes and picked up the charge.
Down to 8 seconds to go in the first half. Celtics to play for the final shot. Bird passing off to Buckner. No, McHale follows. Yes. And the halftime lead is 21 points. Kevin McHale was the right man in the right spot at the right time about 3 or 4 times in that first half. So the Celtics go off the floor here at halftime at the Boston Garden with a smoldering 21-point lead. Kevin McHale 8 for 8 from the floor and 19 first half points. So quite an all-around first half performance by the Celtics. Still another half to go. At Boston Garden, it is the Celtics leading it 66-45 on this hoop by McHale.
Rifled and delayed in New York. One fast break in 96 minutes. God, it was extremely effective tonight, and nothing New York could do slowed it down.
All right, as we start the second half of play, the Celtics are leading by 21. And the missed shot by Sparrow. Robinson offensive rebound. Bird the rebound. Celtics bench in the first half outscored New York's bench 28-11. Dennis Johnson gets fouled by Bernard King and fouled prior to the shot. That is number 3 on King. Bernard had 9 points in the first half. New York's leading scorer was Trent Tucker with 8. The Celtics leading scorer McHale with 19. Bird had 14 and Parrish 10. Bird's left-handed hook is partially deflected, and he ends up hitting the deck. New York bringing it back quickly. Neither team has scored here in the first 30 seconds of the third quarter. King on the miss and Parrish the rebound. Deuce, what is New York going to possibly wish to be able to do to get back in this ball game in the second half?
A lot of their success is going to depend on whether or not the Celtics are able to sustain a defensive effort, obviously, but I think you're going to see them perhaps getting a little more undisciplined with their offense in terms of taking the quicker shot. When you're trying to make up 21 points away from home,
you can't fiddle around with it.
You can't take as much time as you would, obviously, if you're sitting on a lead.
All right, New York scoring the first basket of the second half, Trent Tucker. And it's a 66-47 ball game, third quarter. We played about 1:10. Henderson drives to the hoop, gets the good roll, and it goes through for him.
Good job. A little backspin on that release causes the front rim to pick up the roll of the ball, and Gerald gets a basket that he might normally not expect to get. Again, they're tapping off Gerald, opens up a penetrating lane for him, and he takes advantage of it. If they're going to leave you alone, you've got to be aggressive about it. If they're giving you the jumper, take it. If they're giving you the lane, the basket, take it.
The foul was on Sparrow, his 4th of the game, the second team foul in New York in the third quarter. Played a minute and a half. The Celtics have increased their lead by a point. They lead by 22. Cartwright marching in, blocked by Parrish. Cartwright gets it back, loose ball. Bird comes up with it. Celtics are right now 2 on 3, so they slow it up.
See how quickly Henderson has Max with a
Nice
good possession. That created the play. I was just going to say, see how quickly Henderson pushed it up floor. It wasn't there, so, you know, he drew it back out and waited for something to develop, which was the Maxwell position inside. The key is you must push the ball up floor, even if the break isn't there. Put the pressure on the defense.
There's a timeout taken on the floor with 10:05 to play, third quarter. Celtics now have their biggest lead of the game, 24 points. Play back in. The ball got loose under the New York hoop, and Dennis Johnson and Bill Cartwright get tied up. They will have a jump ball. So far, the Celtics have not only limited Bernard King to 9 points, but they've limited the amount of shots he's taken. He's only had 9 shots so far in the ball game and has hit just 3 of them. The tap control by Cartwright easily. Sparrow, and now here's Bernard. Robinson tried to dish it off to Cartwright. Celtics a 3-on-2. Bird on the wing. No. Gets his own rebound. Yes.
Oh, wow. He almost threw himself a pass off the backboard on that play. He was off balance. If we can see it again. Off balance on the initial play. There it is. Gerald has his head down a little bit, trying to get control of it. See that? He kind of throws it off the backboard to himself. Immediately responds to the offensive rebound. And, of course, finishes it off. And in this way picks up an extra point. I don't know if he had that planned as far as the foul is concerned. But you notice he covered the rebound as soon as he knew what he was trying to do with it. That's kind of thinking ahead.
Cartwright has gone to the bench to sit down for a moment. Truck Robinson just picked up his 4th foul, the 3rd in New York. 3-point play by Larry Bird. He now has 17 points, and the Celtics have their biggest lead of the game, 27 points. Marvin Webster has come in for New York, replacing Cartwright after that last foul. Tucker just buried one from the corner. He's had a pretty good ball game.
14 points for Tucker. He's a shooter, however. He'll give you a lot of D, but he'll fill that hole for you as well.
Bird gets the pass off to Johnson. I'll tell you.
They finally thought they had him stopped because the behind-the-back move threw the trap, and it looked like it caught him blind. Watch this. See, he dribbles right back into it, but he still is able to get control and look up and find that free man in time.
Yeah, I think of all of the things about Larry Bird that I love to watch him do, I think the thing that I appreciate the most is his incredible court sense, his awareness as to what is going on at all times. And right now we're going to get a foul on Bernard King, and that's his 4th. But really, Bird's court awareness and his ability to just do things so instantaneously, I find sometimes bewildering. Parrish, nice fake, but he rolls the shot off. Celtics are leading by 25. Here comes King, and that is going to be foul number. If it's on Bird, it'll be his.
I think it might be Johnson. It might be Johnson. Dennis.
It's on Bird. It's his 3rd. Yeah, his 3rd.
I thought Bird had 3 the first half. They gave it to someone else?
Yeah, the other foul we thought they were going to give to Bird, they gave to Dennis Johnson.
There it was. Half. Dennis got a piece of him, too, but it was too late. Bird got him first. Good call.
3rd personal on Bird, and the Celtics' first team foul of the 3rd quarter. The Knicks are already at the limit with 4, with 8:22 to go in the 3rd quarter. King 1 out of 2 at the line. Celtics are leading by 24. Their biggest lead has been 27. Johnson is doubled up, and Robinson made the steal, however, was out of bounds when he made it. That'll be Boston ball.
Good trap on the part of New York, and they closed off the passing lanes. Almost came up with the steal. New York continues to work at it defensively, so they haven't packed it in despite the score. And as long as they hang in defensively, eventually it'll produce some results. See, they continue to trap Bird. Just a simple play. Henderson feeds in from on top. Bird waits to draw the trap. That's important. If you release prematurely, the trap doesn't take hold, and he has time to get back to Henderson. But he draws the trap. His size and his vision enables him to continue to see the floor. And they're just sending Henderson to the basket, and it's producing layups. Gerald's missed 2 or 3 layups because the back of the defense, has rotated well and caused him some problems. But he's always open momentarily on that cut to the basket.
Ray Williams in the ball game for New York, kicking it off to Bernard King, and the Celtics lead is down to 23 with just under 8 minutes to play 3rd quarter. Right now, New York has Williams out there with Tucker. Henderson goes right by everybody, and a foul on New York. And Henderson will be back at the foul line as they are over the limit as well. No, not a foul. Ball knocked out of bounds is the official's ruling. And Bird will put it in play. New York has Williams and Tucker with Webster, King, and Robinson on the floor. Henderson now with
nice?
double figures.
That's the way to play the game. When you know, I'll tell you, your man's going to trap each time. It's beautiful. All you have to move, as they say, to an open area, wait for the ball, because you know Bird is not going to fight the trap, get it back to you, and it's like 21 in the schoolyard.
From outside, Tucker.
I'll tell you, that kid's putting on a show.
There he's a terrific shooter, Trent Tucker. Played at Minnesota, as did Ray Williams and Kevin McHale. Tucker has 18 points. They double up on Parrish. He finds Maxwell. However, Henderson was out of bounds on the Maxwell pass.
That was a case of one pass too many. Max had the good position. I think could have brought it back in there. He wanted to create a little jumper for Gerald, but can't jump in from out of bounds.
Ray Williams with Dennis Johnson on him. Dennis has been ball hawking Williams all night long, as has Buckner when he's been in there on him.
They've done a good job on Williams.
Yes, they
have. We said he played extremely well in New York
Henderson.
in the 2 games.
Henderson came up with a steal, however, the re-steal by the Knicks. Ball coming back the other way.
Max got a little confused on the uniform colors there, I think.
Loose ball foul is going to be called on Robert Parrish. And on the Chief, that is personal foul number 3. On the Celtics, number 2 as a team. Buckner and McHale are both bouncing off the bench. And now change Parrish's personal to number 2. They had 3 up there. Henderson and Maxwell go out. Buckner and McHale come in for the Celtics. Tucker inbounding it for the Knicks.
Well, McHale has found his shooting touch again in this
sort of
pivotal game. 19 at halftime.
Didn't miss a shot in the first half from the floor. What was he, 9 for 9, too?
Just about. I didn't see the 8 for 8, evidently.
That's got to be an offensive foul, and it is. Offensive foul on Trent Tucker, who caved Johnson in.
Johnson does such a superior job in establishing position. You notice, jumps in front. We've often said you play defense with the feet, not the hands. Moves the feet quickly, good lateral step across, squares himself off, waits for the contact. He's got to be quick and alert to do that, however.
McHale mistimed his jump. The rebound bounces into the hands of Webster. Here comes King. He scored a few points here in the third quarter, but the Celtics held into, 9 in the first half when they were jumping out to the big lead. Right now, New York has come back to within 21 of the Celtics. 79-58.
Well, they had 21 at halftime. There's the trap again. This time they send Robert Parrish.
McHale tips no. Deep it comes out to Tucker.
And now instead of sending the guard, they're sending Parrish because of the rotation.
Foul on Larry Bird. And that is his 4th personal foul. And it'll be New York ball. It's the 3rd team foul on the Celtics.
Here it is. King with the good penetration. He takes those long, loping strides, which usually gets him where he wants to go. In this case, Bird blocks his path and picks up his 4th.
Cedric Maxwell checks back in for the Celtics, replacing Larry Bird, who now sits down for a bit with 4 personals. There's Buckner on Williams, as they nearly went at it one time in the first half.
Knows he prefers to go to his right, so he gives him that half a man overplay to that strong side.
King.
Oh, wow. King with a spectacular basket.
Up over McHale that time, and the lead is under 20 for the first time in a while. King now has 16 points, 7 in this quarter, and K.C. Jones quickly calls a timeout. So we're down to 5:09 to play in the third quarter. The Celtics lead has dropped down to 19 points right now, 79-60, Boston. The New York Knicks, on the strength of 7 for 10 shooting in this third quarter, have chopped 8 points off the Celtics lead. Celtics are 5 for 12. Boston's biggest lead, 27 points, came 4.5 minutes ago in this quarter. Buckner, Johnson, Parrish, McHale, and Maxwell out there for the Celtics. Maxwell takes it in. No. The rebound to Webster. Celtics have hit a flat spot, and New York has a chance here to try to whittle away at this lead a little bit. All right, Ray Williams for the Knicks out there with Tucker, Webster, King, and Robinson. No basket. Foul on Kevin McHale. And that is the Celtics' 4th team foul, and the 2nd on Kevin in the ball game.
King bringing it in with a good strong move. Just throws himself into the McHale pressure, accepts the foul.
King now has 17 points in the game. He came in averaging 26. And, of course, had that 43-point game on Sunday. 18 points for Bernard King. He now has as many points in this quarter as he had in the entire first half. Well, New York has cut the Celtics lead all the way down to 17.
There's the New York trap. They stop the ball, and that's when they'll move in. Boston attacking the basket, finds McHale.
Maxwell working hard for it. Great save by Cedric. McHale picks it up. No basket. He was fouled. No offensive foul on McHale.
Celtic offense has hit a flat spot.
That was a great play by Maxwell to keep that ball in bounds. Well, New York is within 17 right now, and they're on a bit of a run of their own.
They're not going to quit on you, I'll tell you. UB will not allow his teams to quit. They'll hang tough.
Steal, Maxwell.
Steals.
That's his third of the game.
That's a little
nice
pirouette job, exactly.
And he was fouled coming through, so Cedric will shoot a couple.
Max said, enough of this foolishness. I'm going to do it myself. Strip King of the ball, bring it down 90 feet. Take it on up myself. Here it is, the overplay. And again, that time the pass not leading it away from the pressure. Max puts it in high gear and gets fouled by Tucker.
That's Trent Tucker's third personal. Cedric rolls in the first free throw. He's got 7 points now to go with 3 rebounds and 3 steals. There's Danny Ainge in, replacing Dennis Johnson. Ainge had a productive first half, 5 or 6 minutes of play when he hit for 6 points. Cedric hits a couple to maybe slow down some of the New York momentum here in this third quarter.
There's the overplay on Williams again. You notice how difficult they continue to make it for him to get to the ball and start that play.
In low, the ball is loose. It's on the floor. Everybody goes for it. Webster tied up. And what are we going to get? Madden has called a foul on McHale.
Oh, wow.
This is a terrible call.
Wow. Boy, I'll tell you. Gee. 2 guys fighting for the ball. King trips Ainge. He's just going for the ball. It cannot be a foul on that play.
That's 4 on McHale. Well, McHale and Bird each have 4.
I'll tell you, we may start the Red Auerbach show early because Mento, that call must have got his attention.
Webster, who in this series has averaged 3.5 points, nearly 6 rebounds a game, and has been their leading shot blocker with 6, knocks in both free throws. Once again, it's down to 17 points. Celtics led at the half by 21.
Don't put it to the floor out of the middle.
Bad pass.
Absolutely. Once you turn your back on that pressure, you know those 2 quick guards are going to be right in at you. You can't put it to the floor.
King hits 2 more, and the Knicks are within 15 points. They have chopped 12 off the Celtics lead here in the third quarter.
Celtics getting a little careless against that pressure. They're putting it to the floor for too long, and the wrong men are keeping it to the floor.
Ainge cross-court pass to Buckner. Celtics with 10 seconds on the shot clock. Ainge, a 20-footer, no. New York hitting the boards hard. King with a rebound. The Celtics lead is melting away, as New York has had a good third quarter and the Celtics have had a poor one.
I think Case is going to have to gamble on
Steal by Buckner.
Buckner with the quick hands. Got to pivot away, find the free man.
Parrish trying to wheel in, had it partially deflected by Webster. And it's New York pushing it back up again. King off the truck Robinson. And New York has cut the Boston lead all the way down to 13 points. And now Casey Jones wants a 20-second timeout. Well, it's 81-68, and 7 minutes ago, it was 74-47.
Well, that's what a big lead will do for you. It'll make you a little careless, and with Bird out of there, I think Casey's got to get him back in there with 2 fouls to waste. You know, it's not really that much of a gamble at this point.
19-7 New York run in 7 minutes.
Yeah, he can anticipate. Now that New York has got the momentum, he can anticipate continued trapping pressure. And you've got to have Bird in there to find those open men.
want to remind you to stay tuned after this Celtics game for a WBZ TV Sports special, The Auerbach Era, with host Bob Newmeyer. That's The Auerbach Era, very fine show, with Bob Newmeyer after this playoff game. Bird is back in for the Celtics. Maxwell goes out. New York is 9 for 13 in this third quarter, so they're making their run. All right, Buckner gets it to Bird. Larry, no, he is fouled, however, by Ray Williams, and Larry will be at the line to shoot a couple.
So you also need him for this reason, is obviously to make something happen. Bird invariably will create a good shot for himself, or he'll pick up such defensive pressure that it generally will produce a foul as well. And we need a momentum breaker at the moment.
Larry now has 18 points in the game to go with 6 rebounds. There are his regular season numbers. In the playoffs, he's averaging 28 points, 10.5 rebounds a game. Bird gets them both, 83-68. 2 minutes to play, third quarter.
See, this is what the Celtics are trying to accomplish. Marvin Webster, 7'1", bringing the ball up and now being stuck.
Maxwell, fourth steal.
And that's what...
Madden has called an offensive foul on Cedric Maxwell.
Boy, I'll tell you. This is quite a display.
Well, he's been consistent.
Yeah, see, if they can get the ball in the hands of the big man and put a little pressure on him, it not only interrupts the continuity of the offense, but many times it'll create a turnover.
All right, New York with the basketball. Ray Williams. Buckner hand fighting Webster at the top of the picture there for a moment. Williams takes it deep into the corner now, and an illegal defense warning is called against the Celtics. And that is the first illegal defense warning against Boston, is it not?
I thought it was. There was one against New York.
That's the first one. What's Madden doing? The official scorer is saying that's the first one, and it'll be New York ball. All right, the first one is a warning. The second illegal defense is a technical foul.
Look at this. Look at how much difficulty they have to Williams.
Here's Walker, who had a good first half. And the basket will count. And a foul is called on Danny Ainge. So the Celtics lead is down to 13 points. 83-70 as the Knicks have made a stirring third quarter comeback. It'll be interesting to see how much this long climb back up the hill will take out of the Knicks in the fourth quarter. Because while it's one thing to come back from a long haul, it's quite another thing to maintain the momentum and keep it going and take the lead back.
Well, except the way UB uses his personnel, you know. Buckner, the way, see, those are the shots that we were missing in New York.
Yeah.
They were there, but we simply weren't hitting them.
Blocking foul is called on Buckner.
Oh, boy.
That is his third personal foul.
Quinn is upset. I don't blame him. This is getting it's unheard of, and it's by the same, you know, the same officials making all the calls.
Let's take another look at it.
Well, I'm sorry. I take that back. I don't think he had a position established.
Robert Parrish getting set to come in for the Celtics. Ray Williams has just hit his second point of this game. Came in averaging just under 16.
Williams had a frustrating day.
Parrish in, McHale out for the Celtics. Williams gets them both. So it's back down to 13 points. Ainge almost lost the handle on that one. They double up on the ball. Bird inside to Buckner, who kicks it off to Parrish. Rejected by Webster.
Good job defensively by the Knicks again on that rotation.
Ainge and Walker are going at it, and Danny is not going to back down. He tackles him right out in the middle of the floor, and we got a brawl.
Well, I figured this was going to get ugly, and boy, it has.
And it is not getting any better.
Now there's 3 or 4 guys going at it now.
Dennis Johnson and Len Elmore.
They're still trying to separate Ainge and
Ainge and Walker. Now Buckner gets in the middle. Greg Kite is out there with...
Johnson and Elmore going at it.
Grunfeld and McHale right in front of us.
Well, McHale he still owes Grunfeld one from the other day. Grunfeld tried to create a swap of players by getting them both thrown out in New York in the third game, I believe. Johnson still wants a piece of Elmore. I don't know how that got started.
Well, maybe it goes back a long way.
This is going to be an interesting official interpretation because there's no question that Walker triggered the outburst. He simply went after Ainge off the foul. So let's see what the decision is here.
While they're mopping up the floor and restraining the combatants, let's take a look at the way the whole thing started. Williams kicks it off to Walker. Now, Ainge fouls him intentionally here.
No question about the foul.
Yeah, he thought he was going to shoot it. And then Walker immediately
retaliates and triggers the fisticuffs. Oh, he gets one in there. Pretty good shot. Second pretty good shot. I'll tell you, he's got that long reach. Danny figures he's going to go underneath. Finally brings him to the floor.
Danny's smart. He wants to get him down underneath him.
Absolutely.
Now everybody else joins in. Greg Kite. You see Kite get in there right away.
I bet Danny's protecting his fingers. The last time he got in one of these, somebody bit him, right?
Now we're waiting for...
I'll tell you, Bird's on top.
Here's the Dennis Johnson-Elmore thing. Elmore went after Johnson.
Elmore went after Johnson. Oh, wow. Johnson got him a shot.
We're getting the interpretation. Madden and Evans and Joe Crawford are talking the whole thing over.
Guess it's not a non-contact sport.
Apparently it isn't.
Yeah, there's Johnson coming back at Elmore. The coaches, Chris Ford and Jimmy Rogers stepping in between. Here's a little summit conference here between the officials. I guess they've finally reached a decision. Let's see what happens with Walker and Ainge. I'll be interested in seeing what the ruling is.
While we're waiting for that, maybe we can take another look at the melee. Ron Carrington, our assistant director, tells us up here that ML got a great 1-2 in on that whole thing, but I didn't get to see that part of it.
ML would have been disappointed if he didn't get at least one shot in with that kind of activity.
Take another peek here. All right, here it comes. Oh, that's a great angle on it. We're really going to see what happened here.
Well, Walker, Walker sees him coming and almost braces himself for the anticipated foul, and of course retaliates. And now, let's just go through it. They're announcing the decision now.
They've ejected both Walker and Ainge.
Well, not a popular decision here, but I'm not sure that... although, that's the same type of play. There, the officials would usually explaining what the ruling is going to be. It was a similar play in New York when Grunfeld hammered McHale.
Yeah.
And McHale did not retaliate because he didn't want this to happen. Both players to be ejected. Obviously, not a very fair swap in that case. So he kept his cool. In this case, same situation. Ainge fouls Walker aggressively. Walker loses his cool. Both men are thrown out.
All right. Now, I wonder who'll be shooting the foul shot. Does Casey, in this situation, get his choice of which New York player can shoot the foul shot?
I don't believe so. I don't believe so.
Or is that only in an injury?
Yes. Anything that's intentional that way, I don't think the opposing coach has a choice. Who are they shooting two shots?
Well, no. They're over the limit, so it'll be Walker at the line to shoot two. Walker and Ainge have both been thrown out of the game. So Walker obviously cannot shoot any foul shots if he's been ejected from the game.
Okay. In that case, I would think the two subs would shoot. So.
Well, I don't know if a foul was called on Walker, Coos. He was thrown out of the game for fighting.
Okay.
But a foul was not called.
Well,
Walker
the police
scored it off the floor.
Walker a little assist to get to the locker room.
Sort of like a hockey game. There goes Walker. He's done for the night. There goes Ainge. And, of course, the crowd loves Danny's participation in the whole thing. I'll tell you the truth, Coos. For a sport that is played as roughly as NBA basketball is played, the size of the men playing, no equipment, I'm really surprised there aren't more battles, to tell you the truth. Take one more final peek at it. The foul. Walker comes up swinging. And we're off to the races. Ainge catches a couple of licks here. Looks like he got fingernails across the eyes. Then the whole thing ended up with a big pileup at center court. Truck Robinson will shoot the foul shots for New York. And Trent Tucker has replaced Darrell Walker. Robinson gets the first one, and the Celtics lead, which was 27 points about 10 minutes ago, is now down to 12. And it's now down to 11 with 50 seconds to go in the third quarter.
Well, let's see what emotional effect the fight has.
Parrish wheeling in.
On both teams. Generally, it's an uplift for the home team because of the fan support, obviously. But not always. And the way New York digs in, it might give them as much incentive as the Celtics. Good feed by Williams.
So it's back down to 11 with 25 seconds to go in the third quarter. The Celtics on top, 87-76. Biggest lead has been 27. Parrish in the middle again. No. Maxwell, offensive board. Great job by Cedric Maxwell. Shot didn't go in, but he'll be at the line for a couple.
Well, that's where that zone pressure, it's a 2-2-1, and it becomes vulnerable from that weak side rebound. And that's where they've got Max. That's 5 on
Bernard King.
That's where, if your weak side rebounder is active, because it only leaves one man under the basket for the shot from the left side. In this case, Max was on the right, and it really gives you an open path. If you're an alert offensive rebounder to the basket, you can do a lot of damage against that 2-2-1.
Max hits the front end. Louis Orr is in replacing Robinson. Ernie Grunfeld is in replacing King. Phil Cartwright is in replacing Webster. Maxwell has one more shot. 88-76. There's Grunfeld. He's a street fighter. And Max does not get it. Buckner gets the offensive rebound. Loses the ball out of bounds, however. New York ball, 11 seconds to go, third quarter. Orr brings it up court, down to 5. Now Williams. New York may not get a shot away the way they're spread out. They do not.
Good defense.
Yes, sir. Excellent Celtic defense on the ball, prevented New York from getting off a decent shot. So Boston's once 27-point lead is back down to an even dozen. And with 12 minutes to play at the end of 3 quarters now, it is the Celtics 88 and New York 76. With F. Donald Gaston, the chairman of the board, and that's the man Red Auerbach who will be profiled on that show after the basketball game that Bob Newmeyer did so very well. New York outscored the Celtics third quarter 31-22. They did it off great shooting, 11 for 15 from the floor. Fourth quarter, Buckner, Henderson, Parrish, Bird, and Maxwell for the Celtics.
Well, good defense by New York. A little flat spot offensively by the Celts. And a super quarter for King, 13 points. All produced that result.
That's Bird fouled coming through here by Louis Orr. And they're saying a shot was not taken, all right? It's Tucker, Williams, Cartwright, Orr, and Grunfeld for New York. Bird dishing off beautifully to Henderson, who can't hit the layup.
Well, Gerald's really been careless with his layups. Bird has given him a half a dozen tonight, and he's picked up a lot of fouls on him, but he's simply not creating the shot that he wants.
Williams missing the shot, Parrish the rebound. Chief has had a very good game against Cartwright tonight, both offensively and defensively. He's not allowed him to power into the basket. Bird looking for Maxwell.
Max
Grunfeld is muscling him. And
oh, wow.
Traveling is called. All right, New York bringing it back. Still down by 12. We played a minute in the third quarter. Neither team has scored. Louis Orr, pretty good shooter. Down to a 10-point lead.
Good job there by Louis, establishing a position. And he's taking that little jump hook. Not an easy shot.
Henderson. Bird loses the rebound out of bounds. It'll be New York ball. Celtics lead is down to 10, and the Knicks, with a long way to go, have a shot.
Gerald continues to have trouble putting the ball in the basket, and he's getting a lot of easy shots.
Williams. Foul will be called on the Celtics on Quinn Buckner, and that is his 4th. Buckner will go out of the ball game. Dennis Johnson comes in, and McHale is in as well. You might want to watch a possible McHale-Grunfeld confrontation because of what happened in New York last week. Grunfeld, who can shoot from outside, and New York is within 8 points. Celtics' once 27-point lead is whittled all the way down to 8. And it is time for someone to get a couple of big hoops. Number 33, no basket. Foul on Grunfeld before the shot. That is the second team foul on the Knicks in this third quarter. Or fourth quarter. McHale, no. Rebound deep to Bird. Celtics have hit a cold spot. McHale, no. Parrish, foul, New York. Loose ball. Bronx cheer for Jack Madden. Foul called on Trent Tucker, his 4th. Celtics call a timeout. So their once 27-point lead has gone all the way down to 8 points with 10 minutes even left to play in the basketball game. It's the Celtics 88 and the Knicks 80. 10 minutes to play in the basketball game. Since the 9-minute mark of the third quarter, the Knicks have outscored the Celtics 33-14. And that 19-point differential is what has brought New York back into the ball game. They're down now by just 8, where they had been down by 27. All right, Henderson looking for Parrish, finds him, and Robert is able to fingertip roll it in from behind the backboard.
Not an easy,
remarkable play.
Not an easy play for the big guy. What's nice about running the play for the alley-oop play for the 7-footer. You can throw it up there to the sky. Johnson continuing to give Williams.
Oh, what a great play by Dennis Johnson.
Almost a great play. Mr. Madden is there, and that'll be Dennis' second, team second.
Well, Williams will be at the line to shoot 2 shots.
This game has really deteriorated into a tug-of-war type taffy pull. It's affected all the shooters. The pressure that we were talking about on top really didn't manifest itself in the first half, but it seems to be doing that here as far as the Celtics are concerned, although I think they simply got up too quickly and too easily and let down a little bit, coupled with the New York defense that became very effective.
McHale, Celtics pretty good swing of the ball. However, now things tighten up, and it's going to be out of bounds off of the Celtics. Bird was held as he was trying to go for the ball.
Celtics becoming a little tentative offensively. They're searching too much now for the good shot, and it's causing them some turnover problems.
Louis Orr has it wrapped right back at him by Kevin McHale. Celtics are leading by 9. They double up. McHale, Henderson, Bird baseline. Nice fake. 2.
Well, they needed a big play. Of course, you know who they prefer to go to.
And now the Knicks want a timeout with 8:43 left to play in the game. Celtics have pushed the lead back up to 11 points. 8:43 left. We'll take a timeout here. It is the Celtics leading it 92-81. All right, 8:43 to go in the game. Celtics leading it by 11.
You'll be going back to King. I don't blame him. I think he's got to make his move now. This is the time of the game when an explosive score like King gets especially dangerous because the defenses are starting to relax a little bit, and he can run 4 or 5 quick hoops on you very quickly if you're not careful.
King is playing with 5 personals, but Henderson banks in a big hoop to push the Celtics lead back up to 13.
Good move that time by Joe. That little forward dribble kicked the defense off him and set up the backboard jumper for him.
Sparrow, Tucker, Cartwright, Orr, and King out there for New York. Tucker falls down going through. But a foul will be called on the Celtics on Dennis Johnson. That'll be his 4th foul, and the Celtics 3rd as a team.
Good call. Dennis scrambling to get back into the play defensively. He had collapsed inside. I think they're going to call a non-shooting foul.
It'll be New York ball.
3rd. I tell you, the officials, there's Hubie. The officials have had a workout besides tonight. There's been a few blown, haven't there?
Yes, sir.
50 some odd so far. And the night is young.
Sparrow, now Tucker. Sparrow almost walked with it. Cartwright trying to muscle his way in. We're going to get a pushing foul on Robert Parrish prior to the shot. And that is the 3rd on Parrish and the 4th on the Celtics as a team.
So this is also the time when you want to continue to take it in. And that's what the Knicks are doing well, because you know the officials are going to be blowing more consistently now.
Tucker.
Especially after, by the way, the confrontation that we had.
Tucker fires it up, flanks it off the front. Cartwright the rebound. What's he got, about 3 or 4 points tonight? 3 or 4 baskets? Got 4 baskets. 8 points for Cartwright. 10 points. Henderson for the Celtics. The lead back down to 11. 7.5 minutes to go. Bird trying to work it to McHale. Down to 10 on the shot clock. Larry pops. Back up to 13.
The Knick defense continues to give the Celtic half-court offense problems. The fast break has been kind of put away at this point.
King has it ripped out of his hands by Gerald Henderson and Kevin McHale. It'll depend on who the foul will be called against here.
Aggressive foul by Henderson. I think it'll be on Gerald. McHale in pretty good position here. Just rips it away from him.
Well, Bernard King will be at the line to shoot a couple. Bernard right now has 22 points. He had 9 at the half. He's got 23. One more shot for Bernard King, the New York scoring machine. 96-84. Key to his great success is his ability to release the ball so quickly when he gets in shooting position.
Well, his hang time, his body control and balance.
Bird is doubled up, leaves Henderson open. Now McHale is open, and 3 seconds is the call. So it's still an 11-point Celtics lead.
Took them a little too much time to find the free man.
14th Boston turnover. New York has 19. New York has taken better care of the basketball in the second half than they did in the first. Nice give and go. Blocked by Parrish.
Good defensive play by Robert Parrish.
They're 5 on 4. Tip up and in by McHale. Basket counts and he's fouled.
Well, Kevin's had himself quite a game. He's done a lot of serious damage on that offensive board. As we've said so often, his obvious advantage, here's the Dennis Johnson penetration, is watch McHale, not only his size and strength, but he keeps his arms above his head. And, you know, you say, well, isn't that kind of basic? It's amazing how many big men do not do that. There are a few, you know, who are able to do it as consistently, and as a result, you're in position. It's like we were talking earlier. The guard who holds the ball over his head can pick out those cutters much more effectively than the one who keeps his hands at his side. And yet, not too many people do that.
Points in the game now for Kevin McHale. Bernard King rattles in a pair, cutting the Celtic lead back to 12 as Kevin had hit a three-point play. Behind the back job by Henderson. Goaltending is the call on the Knicks.
Yeah, tapped it against the backboard.
Oh, it's back up to a 14-point lead with 6:10 to go.
You'll be still working as hard as
I
ever.
tell you,
he works a game. Wow.
Let's wear out 2-3 pairs of shoes a season just during the games themselves. He's up and down and across the floor. Rory Sparrow back down to 12.
Doing a good job on swinging that ball. Found a free man. Celtics were rotating quickly.
Posting up, Johnson tips in his own shot. Good work by Johnson. The man who takes the shot knows whether or not it's going to go in, and Johnson knew right away, so he went right to the basket and was there for the tip-in.
Shooter is the best judge of where it's going to rebound to, but you've got to be alert and go in.
Again, they foul King as he turned inside.
King knows he's picking up all sorts of pressure, so he's just kind of stomping around in there. He knows he's going to draw a foul.
This one is called on McHale. That is his 5th personal foul. Cedric Maxwell will come in to relieve Kevin now. And Ray Williams is in for the Knicks, replacing Trent Tucker. Truck Robinson is coming in for New York, and he will replace Louis Orr.
Good time of the game to get Buckner in there because we've told you how effective he is picking up, errant balls and stealing, creating turnovers. Players are getting a little tired. You've got a fresh Quint Buckner to put in. It could produce some positive results. I'll tell you, King, given the fact that he's had to do battle with Max and McHale for 5 games, continues to amaze early with his effectiveness.
This is a magnificent player, but he misses both free throws. And the big man, Robert Parrish, comes away with the rebound. 5.5 minutes left. The Celtics are leading by 14. Buckner, Johnson, Bird. The steal by Ray Williams, tipping it to King. They're 3-on-1, and Rory Sparrow lays it in. Celtics with Johnson, Buckner, Parrish, Bird, and Maxwell out there. New York with Williams, Sparrow, King, Webster, and Truck Robinson. Maxwell, now Buckner. Bird, low to Max. Couple of fakes. Shot, won't go, but he's fouled.
Good job. Celtics trying to run the clock down as well as
look for a good
find
shot.
the open man. They're spreading their alignment well. And if they have a choice, that's where they want to put it, inside, and especially to a man like Max, who can create fouls, as you know.
Cedric's 10th point of the night makes it 104-91. Just under 5 minutes to play. Cedric has had a great defensive ball game all the way around. It's only one of the 2, but Buckner makes the steal and then loses it out of bounds. Just kind of snuck up behind Robinson and caught him totally unawares.
He does that constantly. Very well. He uses his speed and quickness against the slower big men.
A good defense is hard work, and Buckner works as hard on defense as anyone you'll want to see. Foul in Boston on Cedric Maxwell, fouling Bernard King. Oh, King will go to the line. 4:44 to go. That is 5 on Maxwell. So Maxwell has 5. McHale has 5. What does Bird have? 4? Bird has 4. Celtics front line with some foul trouble. Bernard with 2 shots. Got 27 points in the ball game right now. His playoff high this season was 46 against Detroit, which he did twice. And his season high, which he did back-to-back in Texas, 50 points, 2 games in a row. They foul Cedric Maxwell, and he'll be at the line. Again, a Bronx cheer.
That's what you're going to get now, because UB is going to gamble, especially in view of that 3rd game misfiring from the line. Max caught one in the eye on the trap.
Yeah, he's going to try to trade 2 for 1.
Yeah, normally his trap people do it effectively. They don't go in after the ball. They just go in to contain and trying to create a bad pass. But now I'm sure he's told him, go after the ball. Try to slip on the ball. Don't worry about fouling.
Bill Cartwright is in for New York, and Marvin Webster goes out. 4.5 minutes left. Celtics lead it by 12. 105-93. Their biggest lead has been 27. The Celtics have never trailed in this game. 2 free throws for Sir Cedric. 106-93. Robinson getting the ball up court to Rory Sparrow. Now Williams, and a bad pass in the middle. Robert Parrish is there. New York committing a crucial turnover with 4.5 minutes to go in the game. Bird with Robinson on him. Johnson trying to post up Williams is fouled by Ray Williams. So DJ will go to the line to take a couple of shots.
Oh, Bird, always alert, looking for the best play to make.
See the way Williams had Johnson by the arm.
Well, that's, as we said, that's the New York strategy, and you know, it's probably as good as anything they could do at this juncture, is just swap fouls if you can. Hope that with a score like King out there, as we said, you can develop a quick hot hand, and that the Celtics will run a cold streak at the line, and I think probably good strategy, their best shot at it.
Dennis Johnson now has...
That's the way to neutralize that is obviously to make all your foul shots.
Dennis has 11 points in the ball game, and the Celtics lead is back up to 15 points, 108-93, 4:10 to go. Here's Bernard. Well, I tell you, that guy finds ways to get open.
He is tough. He got Robert on a mismatch and immediately came back into the basket, found the open area and brought him back to the basket, used his quickness.
Game 6 should be a war. In New York, Friday night, we'll be there 8 o'clock here on TV4. 30 points now for King, 21 in this half. Larry back to Buckner. Dennis Johnson wide open 18-footer, no. And Robinson has it for the Knicks. Bird the steal. Tried to bounce pass it down through Robinson or between Robinson's legs, but great anticipation by Bird on the up-court pass as he came from midcourt to knock the ball away and come up with a steal. The Knicks now have 21 turnovers in the game. On Sunday, they committed only 10. Bird trying to post up King. Buckner open foul line. Buries it. And now it is a 15-point lead again with 3:20 left.
I'll tell you, at least we're not going to have to read about the Celtic guards and their poor shooting because they've really hit the big shots tonight.
Sparrow, now Robinson. Truck off to Rory Sparrow. He's turned into a fine player. In his 5th season, played at Villanova. Up it comes to Buckner. Now Larry Bird. Down under 3 minutes to play. The Celtics are leading by 13. The Knicks made a strong run. They got it down to 8. And the ball is out of bounds off New York. It'll be Boston ball. Gerald Henderson will come in for the Celtics, replacing Quinn Buckner. Quinn, a fine contribution tonight.
Good outing once again here in the last quarter by Buckner.
7 points, couple of steals, and just a great defensive job on the New York point guard, no matter who it happened to be in the course of the game. Buckner was on him like a blanket.
Keep your eye on Sparrow Dennis Johnson matchup.
Dennis takes him inside, misses the jump hook. Webster the rebound. Off it comes to King, who I thought dribbled the ball in the backcourt. Robinson.
That'll be offensive foul.
Yes, offensive foul. No hoop for Truck Robinson. Boston ball.
See, Truck is simply, despite his rebounding prowess, he's not big enough to play power forward. And this is why he has to, you know, hold off the bigger people who are usually guarding him with that inside hand. He probably would be more effective as a small forward.
He now has 5 fouls in the ball game. A lot of people with 5 in this one. Henderson, Johnson, Bird open. No, and a foul on New York on Truck Robinson. Thought he was going to throw the ball to Hugh Evans there for a minute.
That would have been
technical
a mistake.
on the Truck, and he's gone. There's a 6th foul anyway, but he also picks up a technical to boot. He leaves with 10 points and 10 rebounds.
Didn't play badly tonight.
No, he didn't.
The last couple of games, he's been much more effective.
And at the foul line, Larry Bird will shoot the technical foul shot. And he hammers that home. And I believe it'll be Cedric Maxwell coming up to the line to shoot a couple. He was the man fouled by Truck Robinson. The free throw by Bird gives the Celtics now a 14-point lead with 2:20 to go. Their biggest lead, as we told you earlier, was a whopping 27 points. And that was 3 minutes into the 3rd quarter. New York chopped that all the way down to 8, but there's only so much of a mountain you can conquer. And they kind of ran out of steam, and it's almost an impossible task, really.
Don't have enough shooters to make up that kind of a deficit and then go on from there and build yourself a lead.
Sparrow for the Knicks with Henderson on him tough. Here comes Trent Tucker, who's had a good game. Bernard outside. Rebound Bird. Up court it comes, and a whistle and foul on New York. I think it was Louis Orr. It was on Louis Orr. And that'll send a Boston shooter to the line. I believe it was Bird who was fouled after he got the pass up court. We'll take another look at it here in a moment, I believe. Well, on the other hand, we'll let this one go by.
We've seen enough fouls tonight,
Right.
at least here in the second half anyway, haven't we?
Larry Bird
First half was somewhat of an artistic success, especially if you were a Celtic fan.
now has 25 points. Now has 26 points.
But the second half has slowed down considerably.
Celtics back up to an 18-point lead. A 3-point shot by Sparrow rebounds deep to Gerald Henderson, and with less than 2 minutes to play, the Celtics have game number 5 in the bank and a 3-2 lead coming up on the Knicks with a 6th game Friday night, and we'll have it for you from Madison Square Garden at 8 o'clock here on TV4.
I'll tell you what, plan your Friday night in front of the set if you're a basketball fan, because
Bird's going
it
out.
should be a war down there Friday night.
Larry Bird leaves with 26 points in the game. McHale is in to replace him.
Tell you what, I think we talked about this after the third game or so, but in my opinion, this series has been a far more physical one than the Washington series that we all talked about.
3-point shot by Dennis Johnson.
Johnson's shoulder is still bothering him. He's having problems with it.
Celtics back up by 21 points. King missing the shot. Louis Orr has it rejected by Robert Parrish. So the Celtics will win it going away now with 1:15 to go, as they have just ripped the Knicks apart here in the fourth quarter after having the lead chopped down to 8 points. The steal, the re-steal. Into Maxwell, 2.
Look what I found, man.
You know, with 10 minutes to go in this game, that was 9 minutes ago, it was an 8-point game. And right now, it is a 23-point game again, which shows you just how much New York ran out of steam coups. They got it from 27 down to 8, and then in the space of 9 minutes, it went from 8 back up to 23, so they really ran out of gas.
Well, helped
Bernard
along
King goes
by Bird's insertion back into the lineup. I think a key substitution there by Casey with, what, a couple of minutes in the third quarter, was it?
Yep.
Well, he gambled a little bit with Bird with 4, but a good player can avoid fouling generally. You know, if he's got 5, now you got a little bit more of a decision to make. But with 4, where he still has 1 to waste, obviously a good move on the part of Casey Jones.
Robert Parrish leaves the game with 14 points and 10 rebounds. And Greg Kite is in. Carlos Clark is also in, replacing Gerald Henderson. One more free throw for Louis Orr. 6'9". They list him at 200 pounds, but I think that's with the full football uniform on. Buckner with 48 seconds to go, and the Celtics in command by 21 biggies. Carlos Clark. I think this kid one day is going to develop into a fine player.
He's saying, hey, give me a break. I haven't played all year. You're hammering me here. Let me get into the basket and at least get a shot up, will you, please?
He's got a nice shooting touch. He's got good size, 6'4". Good ball handler, excellent shooter. 62 fouls have been called in this game.
Well, that's what we were saying. I'll tell you what. It's been a physical series.
And old Carlos getting hammered. One more for the lefty from Ole Miss, and he gets that one home. 22 points is the difference between these two clubs right now with 30 seconds left. Stolen by Clark.
Bring it in. Bring it in.
Reverse layup won't go for him, and then Marvin Webster loses it out of bounds. However, it's going to be New York ball with 25 seconds left. 23-point Celtics lead. Grunfeld. Webster, no. Ball in the corner. This is Trent Tucker, 12 seconds left. Tucker gets it to Louis Orr. And Cedric Maxwell takes it down and will play out the final seconds to Carlos Clark. The Celtics win it going away by 23. So New York had cut a 27-point lead down to 8, and then over the final 10 minutes of the game, the Celtics dispatched them by a final score of 121-99. So that is it from Boston Garden, as the Celtics have now taken a 3-2 lead over New York with this 22-point victory.